Well, we made it past Thanksgiving again. Did you get your fill of turkey, family drama, chaotic travel, and the madness of Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Or are you still recovering from all of that and trying to wrap your head around the fact that Christmas is right around the corner, followed closely by the New Year? Honestly, I'm not ready. I cannot believe how fast December has arrived and how quickly it's slipping away. But, ready or not, it's officially the holiday season. And one of my favorite ways to get into the spirit is by watching holiday movies. There are so many classics that it's impossible to pick just one favorite, but I've narrowed it down to a handful to discuss over the next few videos. Let's kick things off with one of my all-time favorites, Miracle on 34th Street, the original 1947 film. This is always the first movie I watch to get myself into the Christmas spirit. Whether it's the classic black and white version or the colorized version, which I also enjoy, there's just something magical about the original black and white print that never fails to capture that nostalgic charm. When I was a kid, this was the movie that made me truly believe in Santa Claus. I would get so excited every time it came on TV, and honestly, even now, it still gives me that warm, fuzzy holiday feeling. It's like wrapping yourself in a cozy Christmas blanket. For this video, I thought it would be fun to share some behind-the-scenes secrets about the making of Miracle on 34th Street and the fascinating stories of its cast. While researching, I discovered a lot I didn't know before, and some of it really surprised me. Hi, and welcome to Timeless New York City. I'm Lena, and today we're diving into one of my favorite holiday films, Miracle on 34th Street, the original 1947 classic. If you love vintage movies, heartwarming stories, or the magic of Christmas, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more classic film breakdowns and behind-the-scenes stories. And check out my online store, Timeless New York City, for festive holiday items, including my quirky spin on Santa Claus. Link in the comments. Now grab your cocoa, get cozy, and let's step back in time to 1947. Miracle on 34th Street is a heartwarming tale that intertwines holiday magic with real-world cynicism, leaving viewers with a renewed belief in the power of kindness and faith. The story begins with Kris Kringle, an elderly man who embodies the spirit of Santa Claus, stepping in as the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Santa after the original is found unfit. His charm and authenticity quickly make him a favorite at the store, where he spreads goodwill by sending shoppers to competitors for better deals. But Kris's insistence that he is the real Santa Claus raises eyebrows, leading to a courtroom battle to determine his sanity and the true meaning of belief. At its core, the film is about more than just proving Santa's existence. It's about hope, generosity, and the importance of believing in something greater than ourselves. Anchored by Edmund Gwenn's Oscar-winning portrayal of Kris Kringle, Maureen O'Hara's grounded performance as the pragmatic Doris Walker, and a young Natalie Wood as her skeptical daughter Susan, the movie captures the essence of the holiday season. It's a story that challenges us to set aside our doubts and embrace the wonder of believing, reminding us that sometimes a little faith can bring about the most extraordinary miracles. The story for Miracle on 34th Street was written by Valentine Davies, inspired by the holiday season and the commercialism he observed during a busy Christmas shopping trip. He aimed to contrast materialism with the true spirit of Christmas, faith, kindness, and goodwill. After its success, Davies had a prominent Hollywood career, earning an Oscar nomination for The Glenn Miller Story, 1954, and serving as president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Though he passed away in 1961 at 55, his legacy lives on through this beloved classic. Now, let's dive into the unforgettable casting that made this film truly timeless. First up is Edmund Gwenn as Kris Kringle, one of the most important and memorable characters in Miracle on 34th Street. Born on September 26, 1877 in London, England, Gwenn was already a respected actor, known for his warm and charming roles. His portrayal of Kris was so authentic that even Natalie Wood, who played Susan, believed he was the real Santa Claus. The role earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and became the defining performance of his career. Gwenn continued acting in films like Mr. 8080 before retiring due to health issues. He passed away on September 6, 1959, at the age of 81, but his legacy as the ultimate Santa Claus lives on. Next up is Doris Walker, the practical and independent mother played by the incomparable Maureen O'Hara. O'Hara brought strength and elegance to the role, perfectly embodying a woman torn between skepticism and rediscovering faith. By the time she joined Miracle on 34th Street, O'Hara was already a major Hollywood star. Born in Dublin in 1920, she had earned the nickname Queen of Technicolor for her stunning red hair and her ability to portray strong, determined women who could hold their own in any situation. After her role as Doris, O'Hara's career continued to soar with unforgettable performances in The Quiet Man, alongside John Wayne and the comedic Western McClintock. She stepped away from acting in the 1970s, but made a touching return in the 91 film Only the Lonely. Maureen O'Hara passed away in 2015 at the age of 95, leaving behind a legacy as one of Ireland's greatest cinematic treasures. Personally, I adored her in this movie, but The Quiet Man solidified her place in my heart. She was funny, full of life, and captivating in every scene. In Miracle on 34th Street, she delivered a performance that was both grounded and heartfelt, proving once again that she was the epitome of a true Hollywood star. Another key character is Fred Gailey, played by John Payne, the compassionate lawyer who defends Kris Kringle. Born on May 28, 1912 in Roanoke, Virginia, Payne started as a singer before transitioning to acting, gaining recognition in musicals and romantic comedies like To the Shores of Tripoli. His natural charm made him perfect for Fred's warm and determined character. After Miracle on 34th Street, Payne found success in westerns and TV, but retired after a serious car accident in the 1960s. He passed away on December 6, 1989, at 77. Personally, I've always loved his performance in this film. His warmth and sincerity made it impossible not to root for him, and he brought a quiet strength to the role that truly stood out. Another standout character is Susan Walker, played by the remarkable Natalie Wood, the little girl whose journey to believing in magic again is at the heart of the film. Born on July 20, 1938, Natalie was just 8 years old when she took on this role, which became a turning point in her career and launched her into stardom. Her portrayal of Susan was so genuine and touching that it's no wonder she captivated audiences and left such a lasting impression. After Miracle on 34th Street, Natalie grew into one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses, starring in classics like Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story. Tragically, her life was cut short on November 29, 1981, at the age of 43, under mysterious circumstances while boating near Catalina Island. Despite her untimely death, Natalie Wood's performance in Miracle on 34th Street continues to remind us of her incredible talent and the warmth she brought to every role. What can I say about Natalie Wood that hasn't already been said? For me, she was someone I followed throughout her career, right up until her untimely death, which still shocks me to this day. Her role in West Side Story holds a special place in my heart. Even though she wasn't Puerto Rican, which is such a core part of the story, she gave her all to the role, and it showed. She truly brought Maria to life in a way that still makes the film a classic I enjoy revisiting again and again. She was, in so many ways, my spirit animal, full of passion, talent, and charm. Our next character is Julian Shellhammer, Macy's toy department head, played by Philip Tong. Born in 1897, Tong brought a delightful energy to the role, perfectly capturing the humorous and slightly frantic charm of a man trying to juggle the chaos of retail during the holiday season. His performance added a lighthearted touch to the film's story, making Shellhammer a memorable and endearing character. After his role in this holiday classic, Tong continued to work steadily in Hollywood, appearing in films like Witness for the Prosecution. Sadly, he passed away in 1959 at the age of 61 due to complications from a heart condition. His portrayal of Shellhammer remains one of the many reasons this film continues to bring joy to audiences year after year. Next up is Granville Sawyer, Macy's in-house psychologist, played by Porter Hall. Born on September 19, 1888 in Cincinnati, Ohio, Hall was a gifted character actor with a talent for playing both villains and comedic foils. Before Miracle on 34th Street, he had already made a name for himself in classics like Double Indemnity in 1944 and The Thin Man in 1934. In this film, Hall brought Granville Sawyer to life as the overconfident and pompous psychologist whose skepticism and arrogance added tension to the story. His portrayal made Sawyer a memorable and integral part of the film. Hall continued to work steadily in films and television until his death on October 6, 1953, at the age of 65. Though he often played antagonistic roles, Hall's performances were always layered with depth and nuance, making him a standout in every project he took on. One of the most important backstory characters in Miracle on 34th Street is R.H. Macy, played by Harry Antrim. This movie simply couldn't have been made without the backdrop of Macy's, one of the most iconic stores of the time. Born in 1884, Antrim brought an air of authority and gravitas to his portrayal of the legendary department store's owner. While often cast in similar authority roles throughout his career, Antrim remained a relatively low-profile figure in Hollywood. He passed away in 1967, but his performance as Mr. Macy remains an integral part of this timeless classic. Our next important character and backstory is Mr. Gimble, played by Herbert Hayes, whose role highlights the real-life rivalry between Macy's and Gimble's, a rivalry that added authenticity and depth to the story. Without this dynamic, the movie wouldn't have the same timeless charm or realism. Born on August 3, 1889, Hayes was known for portraying executives and authority figures, bringing a believable presence to his performance. After Miracle on 34th Street, he continued acting in smaller roles until his death on May 31, 1958, at the age of 68. His portrayal of Mr. Gimble remains a crucial part of what makes this film a classic. Our next character up is District Attorney Thomas Mara, played by Jerome Cowan. Born on October 6, 1897, Cowan perfectly captured the role of the skeptical prosecutor determined to disprove Kris Kringle's claim to being the real Santa Claus. Cowan's calm, authoritative presence brought a sense of realism to the courtroom scenes, making Mara a key figure in the film's dramatic tension. Known for his work in classics like The Maltese Falcon, Cowan was a versatile and reliable actor who remained a steady presence in Hollywood throughout his career. He passed away on January 24, 1972, at the age of 74 from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of memorable supporting roles, including his standout performance in Miracle on 34th Street. Our next character is Judge Henry X. Harper, played by the talented Gene Lockhart. Born on July 18, 1891, in London, Ontario, Lockhart was already a seasoned actor by the time he took on this role in Miracle on 34th Street. Known for his versatility and ability to blend humor and sincerity, he was the perfect choice to portray the conflicted judge caught between logic and belief. Lockhart's performance brought just the right amount of warmth and charm to the courtroom scenes, making them both memorable and endearing. With a career that included standout roles in films like A Christmas Carol, Lockhart remained a beloved and reliable presence in Hollywood until his death on March 31, 1957, at the age of 65. His portrayal of Judge Harper continues to be a highlight of this timeless classic. The next three characters, though their roles in the film may have been small, absolutely deserve recognition as honorable mentions. For me, they help bookend the movie, adding just the right touches to elevate it to its classic and timeless status. Our first honorable mention is Alfred, the kind-hearted janitor at Macy's, played by Alvin Greenman. Born on January 18, 1930, Greenman made his film debut in Miracle on 34th Street, and his performance brought warmth and heart to the story. As Alfred, he shared touching and humorous moments with Kris Kringle, embodying the spirit of kindness and goodwill that defines the holiday season. Although Greenman's acting career was modest, he went on to have a successful career behind the scenes as a script supervisor. He passed away on July 14, 2016, at the age of 86, but his role in this timeless classic remains a beloved highlight of the film. Our second honorable mention is Charlie Halloran, Macy's political advisor, played by William Frawley. Born on February 26, 1887, Frawley brought his trademark wit and charm to the role, injecting humor and a sense of practicality into the Macy scenes. Though his part in Miracle on 34th Street was small, it added an important layer to the story's authenticity. Frawley later became a household name as Fred Mertz in the iconic TV show I Love Lucy, where his gruff yet lovable personality endeared him to audiences. He passed away on March 3, 1966, at the age of 79, but his contribution to this holiday classic remains a delightful and memorable part of the film. Our third honorable mention character, and one of my personal favorites, is the uncredited shopper at Macy's, played by Thelma Ritter. This role marked Ritter's debut in Miracle on 34th Street, and though small, it showcased the charm and wit that would define her career. Born on February 14, 1902 in Brooklyn, she went on to become one of Hollywood's most beloved character actresses, earning 6 Academy Award nominations for films like All About Eve. Ritter also shone in her role as Alma, Doris Day's hilariously nosy maid in Pillow Talk, further cementing her legacy as a scene stealer. She passed away on February 5, 1969, at the age of 66, but her small role in this holiday classic remains a delightful glimpse of the greatness to come. Here are the top 10 behind-the-scenes details about Miracle on 34th Street that make this beloved classic even more fascinating. Number 1 is the unusual summer release. Despite being a Christmas movie, Miracle on 34th Street was released in June 1947. Studio head Darryl F. Zanuck believed summer audiences were larger and took a chance on the unusual timing, proving that holiday magic can work year-round. Second was The Dutch Girl. The Dutch Girl in Miracle on 34th Street plays a small but powerful role in showcasing Kris Kringle's magical authenticity. In a heartfelt scene, Kris fluently speaks Dutch with a little girl who only understands her native language, demonstrating his genuine connection to children and solidifying his role as the real Santa Claus. This moment, set against the backdrop of post-World War II America, reflects the experiences of immigrant and refugee families, adding realism and universality to the story. Played by Marlene Leiden, the Dutch girl's brief but memorable appearance becomes a pivotal scene, convincing both viewers and Susan Walker of Chris's authenticity. Third was the filming of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and this one truly surprised me. Until I researched the film for this video, I had no idea this was a real event. The parade scenes were shot live during the actual 1946 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. With just one chance to capture everything, the cast and crew had to meticulously plan every detail. Edmund Gwenn, fully in character as Santa Claus, even interacted with the real parade crowd, delighting everyone who saw him. Fourth is Edmund Gwenn's parade payment. Edmund Gwenn, who played Kris Kringle, actually took on the role of Santa Claus in the real 1946 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. For this live appearance, he was paid not only as a parade performer, but also as an actor for the film, a festive bonus for embodying the holiday spirit. Fifth was the realism in Macy's and Gimbel's rivalry. The depiction of the rivalry between these iconic department stores was so true to life that both companies had to approve the script. Seeing the opportunity for positive publicity, they both agreed to participate, adding a layer of authenticity to the film. Sixth was the name Donder. The name Donder for one of Santa's reindeer in Miracle on 34th Street traces back to the 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, where the reindeer were originally called Dunder and Bliksem, Dutch for thunder and lightning. These were later anglicized to Donder and Blitzen. By the mid-20th century, Donner replaced Donder in popular culture, thanks partly to Gene Autry's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In the film, Kris Kringle uses Donder, staying true to the original poem and reinforcing his authenticity as the real Santa Claus. Seventh was Maureen O'Hara's reluctance. Initially, Maureen O'Hara didn't want to take the role of Doris Walker because she had moved back to Ireland. But after reading the script, she was so impressed that she agreed to return to the U.S. to film it. Eighth was Kris Kringle's costume with a personal touch. Edmund Gwenn's Santa suit was intentionally designed to look slightly old-fashioned, emphasizing Kris Kringle's timeless and magical quality. setting him apart from the more modern depictions of Santa at the time. Ninth was the courtroom scene's prop evidence. The bags of letters presented in Kris Kringle's defense were real letters addressed to Santa Claus, provided by the U.S. Postal Service specifically for the production. 10th was the mailroom scene was a challenge to film. The scene where thousands of letters are delivered to the courtroom took countless takes due to the difficulty of managing the bags, extras, and props. The cast and crew even joked that it was more demanding than filming in the freezing cold. This movie, now over 75 years old, remains as timeless as ever. Despite being in black and white, its story still resonates today. While there have been various remakes, I always return to the original. It's a true classic and one of my favorite films for capturing the spirit of New York City and the holiday season. That said, one part of the plot has always stood out to me in hindsight. Fred Gailey invites Susan Walker to his apartment to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade before he even meets her mother, Doris, and without her permission. While Doris's housekeeper approves and watches them through the window overlooking Fred's apartment, the scenario feels odd when viewed through a modern lens. It's a moment that likely wouldn't translate well today, and it's interesting to think about how times have changed. When Miracle on 34th Street was released in 1947, Doris Walker, a divorced single mother, was a groundbreaking character for her time. In post-World War II America, divorce was still stigmatized, and single mothers were rarely portrayed as independent leading figures. Audiences generally responded positively to Doris's character because she was portrayed with dignity and strength. Her role reflected a shifting cultural landscape where traditional family dynamics were evolving. The inclusion of Doris as a single mother added a layer of modernity to the film, making it resonate with contemporary viewers while still maintaining the timeless themes of faith and hope. Watching this film for the first time in the early 1980s, as someone raised by a single, divorced mom, her story resonated deeply with me. Doris wasn't shown as someone to be pitied, but as a strong, capable woman navigating life on her own terms. Unlike most films of that era, which depicted single mothers as widows, Doris was a working professional in a high-level office position. Her journey from skepticism to belief not only reflected evolving family dynamics, but also made her a timeless, relatable figure. For me, Miracle on 34th Street was truly ahead of its time, offering a portrayal of modern womanhood that still feels progressive today. Have you watched Miracle on 34th Street? Is it one of your holiday favorites, or are you planning to watch it after this video? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to check out my playlist for more holiday content. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. Your support means everything to me and keeps me inspired to create more videos. See you in the next one.